Hello, my name is Holly Mendenhall. Thank you so much for being a part of this today. I am married to Scott Mendenhall. We get the privilege to be pastors at Unlocked Church, which is in Maple Grove, Minnesota, clear up in the tundra, and it is very, very cold. We are working in our studio, and you might be able to see my breath here and there throughout this video. So I just want to thank Natalie for letting me be a part of Hope for Today. What an awesome idea to be able to put some devotional videos together for people just to click on whenever they want to. So I'm super honored to be part of this all, and just hopefully today you're encouraged, you're challenged, and you go find Jesus in some way or another. So just want to share a little bit about who we are, or who I am. Told you I was married to Scott Mendenhall. We love what we get to do. We have been in ministry forever together. Way back in youth ministry, we were actually in Dave Mudd's ministry, and it was one of the best, most amazing times in our life of being trained and taught through Dave's ministry. And it's been amazing to see how far we've come and what we've gotten the chance to do. We are going to celebrate our 20th anniversary here coming up this May, which is pretty amazing. We are super excited about that. And we have done ministry as a married couple the whole marriage. And so we are now lead pastors, which is a new thing. We used to do youth ministry, and now we are lead pastors, and we love what we get to do and impact our community and ultimately see needs and meet needs and point people to Jesus. That's our heart. That's what we want to do. And today I hope to do just that. We also have 8 kids. I know. I hear it all the time. Yes, all 8 of them are ours. I take all of them to Costco with me. Well, not so much anymore because of all of the restrictions and things like that. So that's my alone time, is when I go to Costco. So we have our 8 kids. They all help out in one way or another in the ministry, whatever we're doing, wherever we're going. They get to do it with us. And it's just super fun that we get to do it as a family. So I want to tell you a little bit of story of the season I've been in, the things that I've been going through, and what the Lord's been teaching me and just showing me just how sovereign He is in my life. I always get comments of, oh my goodness, I can't believe you have 8 kids. How do you do it? How do you be a pastor's wife? And how do you have 8 children? How do you have a nursing baby all the time? I've been pregnant or nursing for about 12 years. So our youngest one is 1.5 years. So we're kind of through that phase now, which is super exciting because it's a new phase. And I always look forward to new phases. Even with my kids, I look forward to the next new thing that they're going to do. I don't get stuck in just the baby being the baby. I like to see the change. So just recently, back in September, I know it's been a crazy year for everybody, we found out that we were expecting number 9. I know, if you thought 8 wasn't enough, well, we were expecting number 9. And I got to be honest with you, my world was slightly gone to chaos. I was in a phase where I just had mentioned I was looking forward to the new. I was looking for a new season of ministry and enjoying to do something different, like in more involvement of not having the baby with me all the time, and was super excited about that. So when I found out that I was pregnant with number 9, I was slightly irritated, maybe just a little set off a little bit. We weren't planning that. We weren't expecting that. We weren't necessarily leaning into that. And so it just kind of threw me for a loop. I just thought for sure 8 was enough. We're done with this. We're moving on. And to have number 9 just threw me off my game a bit. And so I remember wrestling with the Lord on just being slightly frustrated of like, how can I have another one? I'm 40 years old. How can I have another one? And I remember thinking to myself that if it was just going to be Him that has to get me through this, then that's what it's going to be. And that's what I'll have to lean into. And I remember coming across this verse, and I'm going to read it for you. And it was in Colossians chapter 1, and it's verse 15 through 18. And I'm actually going to read it out of the Message just because of the way that it talks about it, just kind of changes the wording up a little bit for you. So it says this: we look at this sun and see the God who cannot be seen. We look at this sun and see God's original purpose in everything created. For everything, absolutely everything, above and below, visible and invisible, rank after rank of angels, everything got started in Him and finds its purpose in Him. He was there before any of it came into existence and holds it all together right up until this moment. And when it comes to the church, He organizes and holds it together like the head does the body. And I love that part of how He orchestrates and He organizes everything. And so I thought to myself when I came across that verse, okay, that's for this moment right now for me, because here I am struggling that I'm going to be in the season of having another baby, another newborn with me 90% of the time, 99% of the time, and nursing and still being in ministry and all of these things that I was struggling because it wasn't my plan or my idea. And he has this verse that says, I am in charge of it all. I have it all created for this existence, for this moment. And I loved that. I thought it was amazing. And so I was like, okay, I changed my tune. I was gung-ho. I was like, all right, Lord, I can do this because you've made this happen. Several weeks went by. Start to get to that point where you're excited about having the baby, and you're telling your children, and they were overly excited about it. And so then that gets you more excited. And we were just like, hey, we've got all these kids and all these helpers, and this is going to be amazing. And we're going to have another baby. And we were so excited. Then one weekend, I remember waking up and things just didn't seem right as soon as I woke up that morning. And I was just like, that's interesting. I was about 8-9 weeks along, and I just started having some things that you don't always want to have happen when you're pregnant. And I just remember thinking, this is interesting. This was on a Thursday. And as the day went on, I just kind of was like, oh, no worries. I'll just kind of keep going. Ended up feeling like I needed to call my midwife, so I called over to them, and I just chatted with her a little bit, and they said, well, why don't you try to make it through the weekend and then see what happens on how you're feeling and what's going on. So I did just that. We went ahead and set up an appointment for Monday. I had not yet been to the doctor because I was early on, and so we had set up an appointment to go in on Monday regardless of what was taking place. So went ahead, went to my appointment on Monday morning, and sure enough, the worst of the worst news that you get happens. There's no heartbeat. And I remember in that moment being crushed because here I was at the very first moment upset and angry and frustrated in all these moments. But then now with that baby no longer there, how could I be upset? And how could I be, and I remember immediately those verses came back to me in my mind as I'm sitting there with the sweetest doctor, with the sweetest nurse, and with my incredibly sweet husband of just holding me and just holding my hand. And I remember those verses going through my head. It exists, the visible, the invisible, he created it all for him. And I just have held on to that. And I go through the process of things in my mind. And I thought to myself, when God doesn't change the circumstances that we want him to, what do we do with that? So here I sat in this doctor's office. These are not the circumstances that I wanted. No matter how excited, angry, confused, whatever was going on beforehand, now I'm at this moment where I'm hurt and I'm sad and I'm crushed. What do we do? The Lord's not changing that circumstance. It's done. It's done. What do I do from there? And this thought came to myself that it wasn't the Lord, that it wasn't Jesus that needs to change. It wasn't him that was faltering. It was me that needs to adjust where I'm at. And I leaned back into those verses of the invisible, the visible. It's all created for him. And he is the one that created everything for his time and for himself. And so it reigns supreme. His plan reigns supreme. And I just thought, man, God is so sovereign. He is so good to us. Even when we're confused, even when we're in disarray, even when we're lost, he is so good to us. And if he doesn't do anything else for us, he gave his only son, and that's enough. And through this whole time, I have been able to hang on to that promise that he has my best interest. He has your best interest. He created each one of us for a time. He created each one of us, whether we see ourselves, whether other people see us, whether we're invisible, he created us for his plan. And I hope that encourages you today that in amidst the chaos, even in our world today, we all have other personal things going on, all struggles, whether it be work, family, wherever it may be. He created each one of us, and his plan reigns supreme. So I just want to thank you for hanging with us today and appreciate the time. And I hope you guys have a great day.